Good day, students. My name is Mr. Young, and as you can see, we have our skull already traced, and we're going to be making a background today. All right, I've put my reference image in here so that I can see what I'm doing a little more. We're going to go through and we are going to make our background for the. All right, I think this box is good enough. We're gonna add just a gradient to it. Oh, sorry, we're on stroke, which we want our stroke to be transparent, and it's our fill color that we want to stroke. And in this stroke, we want well, as you can see by my reference image, it's a radial blur, but it goes from dark to light. So I'm just gonna do that for my swatches, and I'll pull it from. Alright, we're going to switch the gradient type from linear to radial, and that could work as it is, but what we're going to do is modify it a little, because we want the center of the point to be up a little, because we're going to be putting a lot of detail over here, so we don't need, I'm just making the rays a bit bigger. I think that looks alright. So I'm going to make a new layer above that, and we're going to make the hearts, which the easiest way to make a heart is with an ellipse and holding shift down. You can also add alt to it, and it draws from the center like this, and switch to A for the inner selection tool, and I'll select the very top thing and move it down a bit, very top anchor, and move it downwards, above like that, and do the same for the bottom one as well. Now we're going to hit the C for, convert tool, and we're just going to click on the bottom one to remove the scrolling, but this one we are going to add, but okay, be sure to watch what you're doing and know that you're clicking on the dot before you drag, holding shift. That totally didn't do what I wanted, but it got us to the point that I can show you. Again, be very careful to go over the point and just drag it up. Now we switch back to the A tool and the white arrow tool and click on this arrow, and now we're gonna bring this point up to mirror the other one that looks about right. I think this middle might be in a little too far, so I'm gonna try bringing it up a little. There, that looks a bit better, and the gradient on it is the same as the background, so we're not going to worry about it. We're going to use the black arrow tool to move it in place over here, and it's also rotated a bit, so we're going to just rotate this a bit too. I'm going to click off it. I can't really see this that much, so I'm going to add a gold stroke to it and see if that looks alright. I don't know if I want to go right to yellow, but maybe a yellowish orange would be good. So click off it again. That looks better to me. Although I think the stroke should be a little bit wider at 1 point, perhaps 3 point. It might be something in the future that I would want to make it a more decorative outline, like arches. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So what we're gonna do is just select the heart, move over it, and hold Alt down. That allows us to do a copy of. There are a few, but over here it's a bit smaller. There's a few on top of the main heart, but I'm unsure as to how that'll look. But there is a swoop on the side, but again, these get smaller as they go. But which I will adjust in a moment. But there's probably a way to do this with the blend tool, but I just haven't bothered to learn it yet. If I do, I will let you all know. Alright, for decorative lattice work, I'm going to use the same yellow, or orangey yellow, but I'm going to get rid of the fill, and I made a new layer for it, and I'll switch back to my pen tool by hitting P. Alright, in my stroke panel, I'm going to increase the width of the stroke so that the widest point of it, I think 10 looks alright, but let's go wider. Let's try 16. Alright, that looks alright. Now in our thickness profile presets, there is not really a preset that suits this. But we'll try the thick one. That doesn't work, so we're going to switch our width tool. We're going to zoom in a little and move it so that I can see the dark thing. So we change our width tool by Shift W. This might be a case of less is more. Let's try and make it more swirls and see if that helps all the same color. Except this time we're using the pencil tool, which I told you before is only good if you have good motor control, which obviously I don't, but it tries to smooth out as best it can, which for me isn't the greatest, but I think it'll work. If you double click, it isolates the object, that way you can accidentally click something else. It's only the shape. Switch back to the white arrow tool. We're just going to try moving some points around to see if we can make it look any better. Exit ice selection mode. We zoom out a little. Oh heck, let's zoom out to the full screen by hitting Control 0. So that little curl is nice, but we need more of them. So I'm going to select it and hold Alt and make a few more and rotate them in position. Alright, this one we'll have to modify a little. We want the base of it to touch the base of the main stock. So switch the white arrow tool by hitting A. Remember to click off it to deselect all the points, and then just move the end point. The handle of this point is also going to be a little bit different. It's going up more lengthwise out of the bigger vine. So I'm zooming out again with Control 0, and because of my loads of tools, it doesn't center properly. So I'm just going to move it over a bit more. Yeah, we want arts. Oops, I forgot to change to my other layer. So I'm just going to switch it back to my black arrow tool by hitting V. We're going to select the letters work by holding Shift and clicking on all of the letters pieces, nothing else. And we're going to edit the cut. Then we're going to switch the layer that we want the letters to be on and click Edit Paste in Place. It's there now on its own layer, just underneath the hearts. So the background, let us lock that, or we could just lock the layer. That will make it a bit easier. And this heart is wrong. I'm not sure why, but it's lost its middle. So, but because this one is the exact same size, we're just gonna move it over in its place. I don't want to go too crazy with the letters work yet, because I'm not sure if it'll be too busy after my next step. With the heart selected, I'm gonna choose edit copy, not cut, but copy, and then we'll make another new layer above the lattice work, but below the other hearts, and we'll say edit paste in place. Alright, we're going to adjust the appearance of this heart. We're going to eliminate the fill by changing it to nothing, and the stroke, we're going to make the stroke white. The maximum width of the line, we are going to change it maybe to 10, or maybe even bigger than that. Well, since we used 16 before, we'll try that again. That looks alright. Now we're going to bring up the stroke panel, and we're going to change its profile to this thin and thick, which looks really funny as it is. But we're going to switch to this tool, slice. I'm sorry, not slice. I'll cut. I can't remember what is cut, so we're gonna try right clicking on it. Alright, I did go to the cut tool. We're gonna cut both of this one. Alright, once again, be sure that is why I'm zoomed in so much. I'm gonna cut that one and cut this one. This looks that looks about what I wanted. We're gonna select both of them and group them together by hitting Control G. So that if you take off it and then click on it again, it will select both halves. But right now I'm going to just move this heart around. Well, actually, let's adjust the opacity right now. By default, it's at 100%, but we're going to lower that maybe to 20%. To make this a bit faster, I'm going to switch to the scale tool, which allows me to click on something and make it smaller. Already it's making me a layer, so I'm going to go back to the black arrow tool and holding Alt and Shift together, we're going to shrink the size of the hearts. So it's not changing it's not changing the line weight. So the heart is smaller, but it's still as thick as it's a kind of an optical illusion. It looks like the line is thicker on them, but they are actually the same width as what it was, which may or may not be what we want. Which for that, it's obviously not what we want. So we're going to lower the point size of that line. We're going to go back to 10 for this. I actually think 10 is still too thick, so we'll maybe go with 8. We'll try a lower number. If that looks alright, so let's, this one we'll scale the other way, we'll scale it up a little. If that looks alright though. Oh, I think we need a few more of these little ones, so we'll just select it. And again, holding Alt, we'll just make more. I think that looks alright. Let's see what it all looks like together. Let's bring our skull back in. Now the skull definitely has to be turned it the other way. But what I will do is use the V tool, which I believe we were already on. Just choose the scale, run the scale lengthwise. I think that looks alright, but even though I think the color of the skull goes pretty well with the background, we're just gonna match it a little bit different. So we're gonna go to edit colors, recolor artwork. As you can see, there are the 4 colors: the light bone, the middle bone, the dark bone, and black. So we're going to actually, let's see what presets it has selected for us. You know, I don't know if I like any of those, even shades. It's actually messed it up, so we're gonna hit cancel, and it should go back to what it was. And we'll go again to object, edit colors, recolor artwork. And we're gonna go to the edit button, so you can see that it's mostly in the brown area, or bone color, and we want to change it so it's more in the red color. We'll change these to reds as well. Alright, that's a little better, but I think that it appears a bit too dark, so I'm going to adjust the brightness of the colors. This one is pretty good, being that it's the holes in the skull, but overall I think that's pretty good as is. So we could go through and put text on this, but I think as it is, that's about as much as I'm going to do with it. You could put like Happy Valentine's Day up here. In fact, the spacing works pretty well with if you were to put Happy Valentine's on top of Day on just below, it would fit pretty well. I think. In fact, I believe I will do that later, but not right now. But I hope you enjoyed this series of tutorials in making the skull. Originally, it got me a little frustrated because I lost a day from it. Overall, it wasn't too bad. As always, this is Mr. Young, and keep drawing.